Did I really promise one a week after saying I was also working on a dissertation? What was I thinking? Why why would I say that? Our first question for today is do you think it's possible to believe in science and believe in the story of God? Yes. Yes, I do think that's possible. I know there's a lot of conflict, there at least stories of conflict between people of faith and science. I was certainly kind of raised in that tradition where, we kind of pit the view of creation over against uh, evolution. And and obviously there's a strong strand within Christianity, I think especially modern Christianity, that really is resisting kind of accepting science or believing that science is telling a narrative that is incompatible with what we believe as Christians. I just don't think that's true. I think there's an equally strong, perhaps too quiet, of a tradition within Christianity that in fact goes all the way back to at least St. Augustine, because as somebody who studies him, I know he talked about this. And he was very concerned about people um, not listening to experts in their fields. And he's talking about creation at the time. And so he's talking about what we would now call astronomers and physicists, of not listening to them, or those who study biology, and that we ought to listen to them, um, and hear what they have to say about the creation. That what they have to say is important, and we should listen to it. He understood the story of creation, I should say the stories of creation, as allegory. They're not literal, but they do tell something true about the world and the one who made it. And I think that's the point of the Bible, is that it's not a science book, it's not a history book, it is a theology book. And the questions that it's trying to answer is not what were the mechanics of the process that got us here. It's asking the question, why are we here? Uh, who are we and whose are we? It's asking questions about who we are in relationship to God and who God is and what the character of God is. That's what the Bible is about. The next question comes from a fellow Fishtownie. That's what we call ourselves here in Fishtown. And the question is, what was my favorite day with the Fab Five? That's tough to pick out. And in my mind, they're really it's an entire unit of time, and they all feed on one another to create the experience that you frankly just get a glimpse of from the episode. There are hours upon hours of footage that they work down into 45 minutes. And so it's really difficult to point out. There are moments in each day that will always stand out to me. I think, though, it's fair to say that, watching the episode, you can see that there are certain key moments, conversations with Bobby, and of course with Karamo and Pastor Megan and Bishop Guy up in Front Street Cafe, that are central to what's going on, but they don't stand alone from the rest of the things that happened that week. For me, they really do work together as a whole unit. I draw from that entire week on a regular basis now. It really is kind of a sustaining week for me as I move forward in my life. Next question is a pretty easy one. Do we do gay marriages or queer marriages at Atonement? The answer is yes, we do. And we're not alone. There are other communities throughout Philadelphia, throughout the United States, that will do queer unions, and we would be overjoyed to celebrate with you that stage of your life as you enter into it, and to support you through it. So if you're in the Philadelphia area, we would be happy to work that out with you, and or otherwise try to help you connect with a community that does if you're not here with us. Next question is how am I handling all the extra attention? Uh, I don't know. That's something I'm still working on, and I know for me the biggest frustration is that I'm slow with being able to figure out social media, what I'm trying to do with it, and what the brand is. Like, obviously, it's religion, right? I get that part. Probably the best way for me to do it is to just keep trying and see what evolves. But I also want to make sure that those attempts are of some level of quality, for lack of a better term, because I think people deserve that, and that's what I want to do. And so there are times when I don't think it's good enough, and so it doesn't happen. By the way, that whole part right there explains why I'm not done with my dissertation yet. So those things are all going together. Um, I maybe I'm expecting too much from myself, I'm hoping at Atonement we're trying to build a team. The anthem of the year is "COVID isn't helping" with that, and that's true here. It's difficult when we can't really get together safely, and there's a lot of people in the congregation who are at risk. So we're being maybe extra careful. I think we're at normal careful as we move through this, just because we need to be safe. The communities that might need to use our building need to be able to do so, knowing that it's really safe for them to be here. So I don't know. Maybe we'll figure that out a little bit more in 2021. The next question is advice for a future queer seminarian. Just a footnote for anybody who may not be familiar with the term seminarian: it is a term used to designate a person who is going into formal religious education for a formal leadership position within the church or a religious community. I know it's used among Christians. It may be used by other religious communities also. So the advice that I would give probably is not radically different than what I would give anybody going in seminary, but I do think it's essential for the queer community. Probably sounding a little bit like a broken record from other similar questions, uh, and I hope you've heard this from other sources. The main thing is build a community, whether it's through formal organizations or if it's just kind of more organic. Friends you have, family who may be supportive, um, students, faculty, staff, people who are part of your judicatory process. That kind of network is important. Also, take advantage of the resources that a seminary can provide. It's not just about the classes you take, I don't think, but it's also how you learn to engage other things. Seminaries typically are not only kind of trying to form you as a religious leader, but they're also equipping you with a process on how to think through things. And for me, some of those best opportunities happen by just finding stuff in the library. Depending on where you go, that may mean kind of building your own kind of queer theology resources. But again, the main thing is building that personal network that will be your guide all the way through beyond seminary. I think that's really important. loneliness and its kind of a companion burnout are one of the chief obstacles that I think religious leaders are going to be facing. And having a strong community outside of the community that we're leaders in is very important for the maintaining and long-term healthy ministry that you will be able to do. Hope that helps. And our last question for this round: do I like Dragon Age and Mass Effect? Yes. I haven't played all of them. I played Mass Effect 3, really enjoyed it. Um, and I played Dragon Age Inquisition, which I haven't completed yet. Um, and I've played, I believe it was Dragon Age 2. Um, I like them. I think they're great games. I like the storyline with them. I'm a gamer in general. I'm not fabulous. I'm not the most amazing gamer, but I think I'm okay. Um, right now, I'm playing Cyberpunk 2077. I know there's a bit of controversy around that. However, for me, uh, as a kid, I played Cyberpunk when it was just a tabletop role playing game. So there's a lot of nostalgia going on for me being able to play it. Um, and I'm looking forward to a new tabletop release. I think that could be a lot of fun too. Uh, but that I did pick up the Red Dead Redemption Online. I've played that a little bit, and I'm also playing a good bit of Sea of Thieves. That's another kind of childhood fantasy fulfilled virtually, being able to be a an idealized pirate in kind of that fantasy setting. So uh, those are the games where I spend a good bulk of my time. If it's not that, it's probably some sort of city builder like City Skylines. So those those are kind of what I float through. I have done a little bit of Among Us also, but yeah, no, um, I do enjoy video games, tabletop games, board games, etc. Uh, those are um, great ways for me. And I guess I can throw in another question connected to this. Um, uh, one of my stress relieving rituals, um, which was a question, what are they? In addition to ones that you might expect, meditation, prayer, etc. The other is to get together with friends online and be able to play some games together. And so that has been a source of encouragement and um, support for me, as well as being able to kind of just move out a little bit of what's going on and to distance myself for a moment when we can't really get away in other ways. Thanks again for joining me on this round of answers to the Ask Me Anything. I look forward to hopefully getting these out at a better pace. My apologies for being behind, but um, you know, I almost have another chapter done. So we'll see. Thanks again. Take care. Stay safe.